going.
Okie dokie. Excuse me, I just had a pancake, so it's repeating on me. Right. We all know that we should be doing things within our baking businesses that will help the environment, whether it's what products we use, whether we use organic products and such like, or how we heat our ovens as well. There are so many things we have to think about. Today, we have the perfect guest to help us start making the move to a more sustainable business, especially within weddings. So, welcome, Michelle. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the Sustainable Wedding Alliance?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much, Sammie. So I'm Michelle. I founded the Sustainable Wedding Alliance back in 2020, the year that time forgot. And previous to that, my experience has been inside the events and wedding industry. So I came straight out of school at the age of 16 and went straight into the world of work and have been in events and weddings ever since. So during that time, as you can imagine, I've seen quite a lot of horrendous stuff going on and been party to it as well. You know, I wasn't born sustainable. I've had to learn it. I've had to learn it the hard way. And essentially got to the point in my career where I had to make a decision. I either had to leave the industry that I love being part of, or had to try and change it and make it better. And bringing my passion for sustainability into it just seemed to make sense. So 2020 used the downtime to be able to launch the Alliance. We have a fantastic member community. The idea is that we work directly with businesses to help them understand what sustainability means for them. So whether that's inside their business or what their couples are looking for. And then the other side to what we do is we talk to couples and we have partners that we work with to try and help couples to understand what it means to have a sustainable wedding and what they can do to make their wedding a bit better.
Amazing. So what made you decide to start the Sustainable Wedding Alliance? What was that sort of like that real jolt that no, this has got to be done, this has got to be sorted?
So I think, like a lot of people, having children for me really changed my outlook. It's made me change the way I was working in my day-to-day career and think about what I wanted to do. I formed my own event agency back in 2009. God, it's really weird saying 20. It's not 2020, is it? It's 2009.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2009, and started working with clients that started to really understand what sustainability meant.
Yeah.
And I think up until that point, I think I was probably quite scared of it and scared to sort of push that with clients. But actually, it taught me that in the corporate world, that was something that was achievable. And so then actually it made sense to start talking to couples about it as well.
Right.
You know, they were just like me. They had the same thoughts and feelings as I did. And actually, once you start to open that door and you start to look into how you can have a sustainable wedding, it makes a lot of sense. And certainly my why is my kids. You know,
Right.
I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, and they are the most eco-friendly people I know. And they're like that because it's really important to them, and they're like that because the environment is important to them.
Yeah.
And so actually that for me means I have to be better, I have to do better, and whether that's in our day-to-day lives at home, which they're always on top of me for, or that's in my business. And so for me, it was we've got to make the change, and I can help make that change. So why not now?
I love that your children have educated you into doing
Yeah,
this.
every day.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah,
Because they do. They do stuff at school as well. Very much. Because my kids have all grown up and left school now. But even back in 2009, that sort of time, they were coming home with projects that are about things to recycle and things to do like that. So they must have improved massively in that time with what they're being taught.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's not officially part of the curriculum, but it certainly is becoming. And I think most schools recognise that actually they're, the generations of the future can really make a big impact. And it's a lot of businesses, and actually some within the wedding industry, do outreach to schools. And so, it's a really good opportunity to try and get them on board with things you're doing. And, kids are honest. Kids will tell you what they truly think.
Brutally.
My soundboard, I talk to them about what it is that I'm doing, and if they think it sounds like greenwashing, then it's probably greenwashing. So for me, they're a pretty good soundboard.
That's good. All that you're talking about now is something that we have wanted to talk about for so long. It's something that I'm quite passionate about, but sometimes I know that I'm not doing the best I can. Why should we be more sustainable in our businesses?
So first of all, progress over perfection any day. Doing something much better than sitting there doing nothing and waiting until you're definitely going to do the right thing and say the right thing.
Right.
We all need to take responsibility. We all can do those really small actions, and they might feel like individually quite small actions, but actually what if we're all doing them? The wedding industry is a £14.7 billion industry.
Wow.
What if every business just starts to make one change this season? That is absolutely going to add up massively. And that is the reason that businesses should become more sustainable, because actually they can all make a difference. And it is our responsibility. If we want to continue to live on this planet, and we want to continue to be able to thrive, and for our kids to thrive, then it's a no-brainer. And I think it's a daunting prospect, isn't it? Like sustainability, just like you're saying, you wanted to talk about this for a while, but it is daunting because the word has so much attached to it. And I think it is really confusing and really daunting, and people just don't know where to start. So actually just starting to break down your business and starting to understand what things you might be able to start doing, and then taking that first step and making that one small change then gets you on the right road, and you can get started on your sustainable journey. And from then in, you'll find people that you'll connect with, you'll find the right people that will support you. And, and that's what we do. We're here to support people regardless of where they are on their sustainable journey.
That's really interesting, because I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it? It is daunting, but there's so much emotion around it as well, isn't there? So it's actually all the practical things you can do, but then there's a lot of shouting about it, and that, I think that's probably the scary bit, that you want to be as good as you possibly can, but that first step is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we recently launched the Sustainable Wedding Awards, and we've just run.
Yeah, I saw that. That looks really cool. What a good
really
idea!
It was fantastic, and the process has just taught us so much about businesses in our industry. They are not putting their hands up and shouting about all the awesome things that they're doing. They're quite happy to go and win best wedding venue or best cake maker, but actually they don't want to talk about how they might be the first vegan sustainable business. They don't want to talk about that they're zero waste, that they have put in place this amazing food waste system. They don't want to talk about that stuff because I think they're fearful of somebody coming, and knocking on their door and, waving a finger at them and saying, oh, yes, you're not doing that in that area.
Yes, you're not doing enough,
Yeah, you're not doing enough. And I think, we need to kind of let go of that as an industry. We're all just trying to do our best. And, there are going to be trolls out there that are going to come and wag their finger, but they're not going to be your couples. They're not going to be the suppliers you work with, and they certainly aren't going to be the industry. We are, I think, probably one of the most supportive industries out there. We champion those around us and that are doing good things, and there's always going to be plenty of people there to back you up and help pick you up and support you. So it's a technical term, it's called greenhushing. When you're doing amazing things and you're not shouting about it, it's the opposite of greenwashing. You're hiding it, you're hushing it up. And that's what we need to get rid of. We need to stop greenhushing, and we need to start talking about what we're doing, good, bad, and ugly. Be absolutely open and honest about what it is. If you've tried something and it didn't work, tell people about it.
Right.
Because you're going to build trust with couples but also you're going to help somebody else not make the same mistake.
Yeah.
And let's not waste time. If you've done it, it's failed, tell people they won't do the same mistake.
Perfect, amazing. So are you also finding customers and clients and couples are demanding more from the businesses in the wedding industry? I mean, I know that I myself have had sort of like questions that I would never have had 13 years ago when I started in the industry. So, you're finding that more and more.
Yeah, and we're total advocates of it. I'll be honest. We're out there telling customers, we're saying to couples, go and ask them if they have a sustainability policy. Go and ask them what they're doing in terms of their waste, where they're buying their ingredients from. Because actually, if you don't ask, you don't know. And for a couple, a lot of the time, when presented with wedding planning, it's really overwhelming. Mm-hmm. And overlaying sustainability for that is even more so.
Yeah.
But they are becoming more savvy. We run a survey every year, so we have 2 full years of our survey, and in March we'll be launching the next one. And we've been asking couples how environmentally conscious they've become in the last 12 months, and the stats are so high. We ask them, what is sustainability a factor when you're planning your wedding? 98% last year told us it was a factor.
Wow.
It might not be the top of their priority list.
Yeah.
But it's still a factor.
Yeah.
And if you're not communicating that sustainability is important, if you're not being open and honest about what you're doing, then how on earth are couples going to know about it? And so how are they going to find you, and how are they going to set you need to set yourselves apart. Doing the right thing for your business and your industry and the planet is also going to give a competitive advantage. And we see it all the time with our businesses that we work with. They're really open and honest about what they're doing. And if you have a like-for-like supplier and one of them is talking to you about sustainability, and you're a conscious couple, I mean, who wants to do something that's bad for the environment? Nobody does. So if you're talking to them about that and they can connect with you, then you're just gonna build your relationship with them, and it'll be better.
Perfect.
How easy is it to become sustainable in business?
How easy is it to run a business? I mean,
terrifying.
Right? So, running a business is difficult in different ways for different people, depending on what you're like.
Yeah.
I don't like the finance element of my business. I absolutely hate it. And so I talk to experts that can help me with it.
Right.
It is the same with sustainability. If sustainability is really daunting to you, then the first thing to do is find out why it's so daunting. What is it? Is it because it's such a big topic? Is it because you don't know what sustainability means? Is it because you don't want to look silly in front of couples or suppliers? Work out what it is that's jarring you, and then start to unpick it. Building a sustainable business is no different to building a business.
Right.
All you're doing, and it's the same when you're planning a sustainable wedding, it's about conscious choices. It's about overlaying sustainability in everything you do.
Yeah.
When you are looking at sourcing ingredients, you're looking for several different things. You're probably looking at price point, locality, do you already buy from that supplier? Then if it makes it easy for you to buy more from that same supplier. Mm-hmm. You overlay sustainability and you think about the transport costs. You think about where the raw materials or ingredients have been sourced, their process, their wholesaling. You just overlay the sustainable elements to what you're already doing, and then it just becomes part of your day-to-day business. And once it becomes part of your day-to-day business, running a sustainable business disappears, and you're just running a business. But you're making conscious choices whilst doing it.
Right, because as cake makers and anything in catering, we use a lot of electricity, a lot of resources, a lot of plastic in the form of cling film. Cling film, the bane of all our lives, because there's nothing as good as cling film. And because of all of that, and like things like cling film and plastic and keeping things fresh, we can't see the wood for the trees. It's like there's so much. So how would you recommend, as cake makers, we start on that process to be more sustainable in our businesses?
So definitely looking at what you're doing and what you're buying. So thinking about, how can I explain? So what we talk a lot about is we talk about budgeting. So when you are producing a cake, you will have your cost a couple and your cost that's, you know, of making that cake to you. You thinking about that as a budget. You've got your budget, you know what you can spend on that to be able to make the right profit margin for the cost you've sold it at. Think about sustainability or carbon in the same way. You have a budget. So if you absolutely cannot give up cling film, it's not possible.
Sounds like a drug, doesn't it?
I know.
Can't give it up.
Can't give it up. What you need to make sure is that everything else you're doing, up until the point that cling film does become more sustainable, there's a lot in development at the moment. None, unfortunately, in the UK, but things being done with fish scales and all sorts of amazing stuff.
I had somebody talking about onion skins.
Yes, in that one. Yes, absolutely. I mean, we are a little bit way off that. I mean, you know, imagine that onion skin cling film.
Round cake. Yum.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's but thinking about it in terms of a budget, thinking about, right, okay, well, actually, there are certain parts of my business that I don't think I can transition to be more sustainable. So what else can I do? Let's make every other element of my business as sustainable as it can be. Let's say, right, actually, cling film, we're going to try to tackle that, but we know that there's no product on the market that is possible right now. So actually, let's say in 2 years' time, if there's nothing, then we're going to re-overhaul the process. But actually, right up until that point, let's do everything we possibly can to be more sustainable. Let's talk to our suppliers about where they're sourcing things. Let's talk about the transport. Let's think about the energy and where we're buying our energy in order to turn that oven on. Let's think about every other element of our business and make that as sustainable as it can be. And those legacy issues, those things that we can't change right now, but actually will be able to change in the future, let's wait for a good solution for those. But that doesn't mean you can't get going now. There are so many good things that you can do right now and start making changes.
Is there anything that you see your Cake Maker members doing that you kind of went, oh, I never thought of that? That's a great idea. Is there anything?
That's on the spot.
Sorry.
So yeah, there are. Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult. So when we talk, so we have Cake Makers as memberships within our business. We one of our awards was won by a cake maker, and actually, what I think that sets you guys apart is your relationship. You tend to build a really strong rapport with your couples, and actually having that ongoing conversation having that ongoing conversation about what's important to them gives you a really good influencing point to be able to help them be more sustainable. You know, couples have the best intention of being sustainable, but they don't quite know what that means, just like many businesses don't. So if you can help lead them on that journey, then that's one more wedding that's going to be taking place in a more sustainable way. And I'm talking things about ingredients. I'm talking about, you know, food waste. I'm talking about, you know, you're looking at potentially carbon footprinting a cake, which actually is something that one of our members is thinking about. Working out the carbon footprint of all the ingredients that are produced in that cake, including their whole life chain, the supply chain, and the transport in order to get it there, the embodied energy that has been used from the oven, and then being able to work out where's the highest intensity and where can we reduce it. That's kind of amazing, and that's next level stuff, and that's stuff that actually we now have the capability to do. We didn't have that 10 years ago. We didn't have this kind of data to be able to do that. So, you know, for us to be able to say, actually, cake makers, there is a simpler route. You know, there are, go find the suppliers that will work with you. Go find those businesses that you can surround yourself with, that are going to have the same ideal couple as you, that are going to be conscious about their wedding, that are going to be looking for something a little bit different. And then when they come to you, you're building a really strong rapport with them, and being able to help them and influence them to have a more sustainable wedding is, you know, is really key. All
Yeah.
suppliers should be doing that. But I tend to find the relationships that between a cake maker and their couples is quite close.
Right.
And it's, you know, you have definitely got the ability to be able to influence.
Yeah. I actually, I found you from a cake maker that is part of the Alliance. That's Claudia from Green Fox.
Yeah.
And she was talking about, she was giving out samples and she had found compostable plastic pots to put the samples in. I was just like, where, you know, 5 years ago that didn't exist. Little compostable pots they weren't there, were they? So the technology is making it better for all of us as
Definitely.
well.
And I think there are you know, my mum, this is my mum's phrase, but essentially she always used to say to me, what would your nan do? You know, when you come up against a problem, particularly with sustainability, what would my nan say? What would my nan do? Because actually she was the most make, do, mend, environmentally friendly person I've ever met.
We've kind of lost that in a generation, haven't we? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've kind of gone to this convenience level.
Yeah.
When you think about it, the problems we come across are due to convenience. You know, we want to be able to give cake samples out there and then immediately versus them sitting down and trying them there and then. You know, so actually we've kind of just gone into this, oh, well, we have to do it this way because the client needs it this way, they want it that way. But actually by talking to couples, they might say, actually, no, we don't want to do it that way. You know, we see you're at this event, maybe we could come visit you and we could try them there. Or, you know, now there are so many amazing innovations that you can give away free samples in these amazing boxes like Claudia does. You know, you can post in, it's like a compostable cellophane. So you can send that out. You can use a carbon neutral delivery service so that you're ensuring that, you know, you're not building a carbon footprint by posting things. There are so many different ways that actually, if you're conscious about the way you do things, can still be convenient for couples. But you're actually making the choice to be conscious about it rather than just, you know, everybody does it and we need to do it that way because that's what the client expects, when often it's not what the client expects and it's not necessarily what they want.
Yeah, we make a lot of assumptions about our clients sometimes, don't we?
Yeah.
Is it me? Sorry.
It is you.
Oh yes, sorry. I get so in like sucked
so
in.
Gross.
So we touched on the sustainable awards earlier on, but can you tell us about them now, but a bit more in depth, and how do people enter?
So the awards, we launched the awards back in October, and they will be launching again this October, so October 2023. And the reason that we launched the awards was really because we had recognised that there were so many businesses doing amazing things and they weren't getting any recognition. And, you know, there are lots of industry awards. We are, you know, very lucky to have some amazing industry awards, but actually none of them really talk about sustainability. And what we didn't want to do was have most sustainable venue, most sustainable cake maker, stationer, because actually sustainability isn't about that. What the awards do, we talk specifically about the sustainable actions you can take. So whether that is reducing your carbon footprint, whether that is promoting sustainable swaps, whether that is reducing food waste or getting to net zero, or actually just being a massive advocate for sustainability, that's what was important to us. So actually to talk about the action people were taking in their business and not their business itself. So we launched them in October. We had the awards ceremony this January, just gone, and we had an amazing response. And actually, like I said, we did see that, you know, the applications blew me away. Some of them made me quite teary, I'll be honest.
Oh, lovely.
Because to see some of the things that people are doing was just, you know, when you're, you know, I talk a lot to the converted, you know, they know that sustainability is the way forward and are, you know, they're on board and we're helping them and we're talking about real detail. But actually to sit and listen and watch some of the application videos, you know, they pour their heart and their soul out, and, you know, getting to talk to people about what changes sustainability has made to their life was just amazing. And so next year, October this year, we'll be launching the applications. The ceremony will be in January next year. We will very much be building on that. So we will be talking to people about the innovations that they've changed, the categories will be extended, and we will be shouting about them an awful lot more. And we're hoping to be able to also have an in-person awards ceremony in January, which will also be alongside the Sustainable Wedding Summit, which will be a full day.
Oh, that sounds so cool.
So we host a summit every year. We normally host it in April or May, but we have decided that actually taking feedback on board from the industry, January is a much better time to bring people together and talk about sustainability and talk about
yes, because so many people are doing veganary as well.
Yes. So we will be hosting the Sustainable Wedding Summit and the awards in person in January. And essentially it is a all-day workshop talking specifically to businesses about the practical things that they can do and the changes they can make. And having hopefully some roundtables from different parts of the industry. So having cake makers all coming together and talking about the challenges that we can then listen to and hopefully help and feedback on. So it's a big piece of big event. Then hopefully we'll be putting out details in the next few months. So
I was just going to say, when are you going to release the details?
So we will be launching our survey. So we have a survey I mentioned before where we talk to couples and ask them what's important. We also have a business survey where we're talking to businesses about what they're doing and how they're feeling about sustainability. So those launch in March and then we will announce the results in April. Once that is launched and the results are out, then we will also launch the information about the summit for next year.
So how can we be part of the survey? Do we need to sign up to your emails or something along those lines?
Yep, so for businesses, we have a newsletter called the Eco Edit, which is where we first put out all of the information about our events, surveys and research that we're doing. It will always be on our website, so we are not about to try and force anyone to join a newsletter to get more stuff in their email that they're not going to read.
Oh, but we love a newsletter.
We love newsletters. I think I've actually signed up to it, but in like doing the research for you. So I'm pretty sure that I get it now.
But it will also always be on our social media. So we hang out on Instagram and I hang out on LinkedIn and on our website. It's always front and centre on our website. So there's a survey section on our website and they'll be live on there too.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, I do follow you on Instagram, but I dip in and out. Sometimes I see it, sometimes I don't. So emails, newsletters, that's why I like them.
That's where they work. So how do we become a part of the Sustainable Wedding Alliance, and what, I don't want to say what do we get, because that sounds a bit callous, but what is the benefit of becoming part of the Alliance, and how do we become part of the Alliance and become part of the support group and everything?
So I could sit and reel off loads of benefits on the membership page of our website. I'm not going to do that because actually what I would say is go and talk to one of our members, send them a message, DM, email, whatever, the best way for you to contact them is have a look at the testimonials on our website and on our social. We are here to support businesses, whether they are members or not. If you are working towards becoming more sustainable or you don't know what that means for you yet, just reach out to us and have a conversation. Emma and I are always open to having chats with people that want to do the right thing and want to start on that journey. If businesses want to become a member, we have amazing community. So we have a online membership platform where we host events. We have all of our members, they talk to each other, organise shoots. We put all of our tools and resources in there. So as part of our membership, we assess a business. So we come in and we spend a couple of hours talking about what it is that you do, your strategy, what you like, what you don't like, where you are at in terms of sustainability. And we help you break that down if you don't know what that means. And then we come back to you with an action plan of, okay, well, this is what you could do in all of these areas to work towards being better. And we very excitedly launched our accreditation scheme last year, which essentially is an industry standard for sustainability. So as a business, you have the opportunity to be able to work towards that standard and then receive that standard and then shout about it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, couples like it because they can see they've been independently checked out.
Mm-hmm.
They're not making any claims. And businesses like it because that greenwashing fear is gone. Because actually, you know, if somebody were to go to their website and see that they're an accredited member, they can come to us and actually say, well, I saw they're making this claim, and, you know, they genuinely are actually able to, you know, evidence that claim. So it's quite important for both sides. So we were super excited to be able to develop that. And actually, you know, the community is the most important part. And that's why I say go and talk to our members, because I think depending on who you are and how you work in your business depends on what you get the most from. The value is totally down to the, you know, the person, isn't it? What you define as the most valuable thing. Some people will say the community, some people will say the training, some people will say the directory listing. It's absolutely dependent on what's important to you. So yeah, reach out to one of our members or to MRI.
Where would we find that? Is that on the website, who your members are? And
yeah, you'll find testimonials on our website. You will find all of our members listed on our Conscious Couples page. So on our website, we have two sections. We have the businesses section and we have our couples section. On our couples section, we talk about directly to the couples. We talk about what they can do to have a more sustainable wedding. And that's where you'll find the listings of all of our members.
Perfect.
And then for the businesses, we have a series of articles, blog posts, interviews about how you can make your business more sustainable. So go on there, have a little look. It's got a flavour of the types of things that we do inside the membership. So yeah, it's also the best place to reach out for us, and you'll find all our contact details on there too.
Amazing.
I really enjoyed talking to you today. It's like there's so many more questions I could have asked, but
send them to me and I'll answer them.
Is there anything that you'd like to tell us? So have you got anything that that we may have missed asking you?
I think the most important thing that I'd love people to take away is progress over perfection. You know, I think that doing one tiny little thing today, you know, is so important to get started on that journey. You know, the digital world is often forgotten. You know, we're hosting a podcast, it's, you know, recorded, it's being stored on a data server somewhere, and that has a carbon footprint. But actually we kind of ignore that and not really thinking about that as part of our business.
I didn't know about that until recently. Like the photos that we have saved,
it's crazy.
And I've got 10,000 in my iTunes iCloud, and I didn't know that was using power to keep it there.
Absolutely, power and energy. And you know, I think simple things, like a really simple and easy thing to do is go and check to see if your website is being hosted by a provider that is using renewable energy. You can go to a website called thegreenwebfoundation.org and you can type in your website and it will immediately come back and tell you whether or not you're hosted on green energy or not.
Wow. So
go and do that. Go and do that one thing, and that's your one thing started. And if it's not hosted on sustainable energy, then follow their guidelines and go and find somebody that is. And then that you've made one change to ensure that actually your business is being powered, the digital side is being powered by renewable energy versus fossil fuels.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. It's just that one small step, isn't it? And then people have started. That's getting them going. Oh, it's been delightful to talk to you. Like Sammie says, there are 1,000,001 questions, and I'm sure we'll think of so many more after we're gone. But where can our listeners find you? Where do you hang out? What's your socials? What's your website? And how do they get to work with you if they want to?
So our website is sustainableweddingalliance.com. Nice and simple. Get in touch with me is hello@sustainableweddingalliance.com. Nice and simple. We hang out on Instagram and you can find us again, Sustainable Wedding Alliance UK. And we also will be launching our For Conscious Couples Instagram next month also, which is directly just for couples. And just come and say hi. I'm also on LinkedIn, Michelle Miles, you'll find me. And it'd be lovely to hear from people, just to find out, you know, what they're doing in terms of sustainability and how we can help. And please, when you see the survey come out, do fill it in, because the more data we have and the more we know about what people want, the better we can make sure we're providing the right stuff.
Perfect. If you have a link for that, please send it to us, because we have a newsletter that goes out, and we can include it in the newsletter to try and get more people onto that.
Yes, please. That'd be amazing.
Well, thank you so much. It's
yes, thank you.
Enlightened.
Yeah,
perfect. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you. It was
are you recording now?
I'm recording now.
Oh, I really enjoyed that podcast. Michelle
really
was lovely. Yeah, it was right up my street. Just my cup of tea.
I could see you completely engrossed in it.
Yeah,
fully engrossed in it. Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, no, and so Michelle did mention that she should have talked about, and she would get in trouble for not talking about it. So we are going to tell you anyway that they have a scholarship.
Yeah, pretty cool.
It's amazing.
Can I apply?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So it will give. It's running until November. You have to apply, so you have to fill out an application form, and it will give you 80% off. And it's in order to get people just on the ladder to start.
Yeah, people who wouldn't necessarily be able to afford it.
Yeah.
You know, because they're at the lower end.
And she did say that there are some cake makers on it, because obviously with the cost of living and the cost of...
Because he lives. Because he lives, mate.
But I mean, I think as cake makers, we are suffering of a lot of industries. We suffer.
Have you seen the price of Elmley? It's my new one.
No, I haven't.
How much was it at the beginning of the year? Last year was 99p, wasn't it? Now it's £1.60 something.
My word.
Yeah.
I think, you know, we've got the cost of ingredients, we've got the cost of the power. So their scholarship, 80%, it will be 80% paid, and it's running until November, and you have to apply. Please check it out. And if not, just please check out their website. There are so many articles on there, so many blog posts.
I went down a wormhole.
I kind of went around a little rabbit hole.
Yeah, I started looking at it late at night about 2 weeks ago, and I ended up listening to something in America. That's how deep a wormhole I went down. So but I really enjoy it, and the site's nice as well, and it all just makes sense. Yeah,
there's so much information on there, and also there's some things I think sometimes we get in our heads it's going to be expensive to be sustainable.
Yeah,
but it's not always, is it?
Like Michelle said, if you do just one thing, that that's one thing that you're helping with. And
the
thing
is
easy.
That we're all individual cake makers. You know, very few cake businesses are more than one or two people involved.
Yeah, that's right.
And if we all did that one thing, even if it isn't cling film, I would like there to be a good cling film.
I do use a lot less cling film. I'm more mindful.
Yeah, I use a lot more plastic boxes and things like that.
I use plate lids. So, like, I bring the cakes out of the tin, as opposed to taking them out of the tin. If I know that I'm going to be doing it within the next 12 hours, I put a plate on the top, and then I pile them up.
Good idea.
I've got some of those covers that you put over the top.
Oh, yeah. Have you got, like, the stretchy plastic ones?
But I can never find the right sizes for my pots.
Do you know, I saw
too big or too small.
I saw someone with one of them the other day, and they put it over tomato. They cut a tomato.
Oh yes, yes, I've seen that. You can do that with a cucumber as well. Cucumber. Put it over the end of a cucumber. Yeah, I've done that.
I see cucumbers. We just cut the end off and give it to the dog.
My dogs are pure meat eaters. They spit it out. And just
only one. The Labrador. He eats anything. He eats cucumber.
And I also the Mark bought me a whole massive set of these covers.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't use them on anything. They didn't fit one single pot in my house. So I cut all the things off them and I use them as my, you know, when you put a cake on the turntable and, and it's
Yes.
like, woohoo, and it's slipping all over the place. I put it on there, gives it a bit of stability.
Nice.
Yeah.
Job's a good one.
Yeah. So,
Perfect. Yeah.
bish, bash, bosh. Okay, right.
Right, go on then.
Product of the week, product of the week, product of the week. Changing it up a bit.
Oh, right.
Right.
Look, even Birdie behind you's like, what is going on?
Fuck?
Right, go on then.
Okay, I've got to click on it. So,
we're keeping sustainable.
yeah,
aren't we?
sustainable. So these are the most expensive eggs you can buy in the world. My kids love them.
Go on, mini eggs. Chocolate mini egg.
No, they're called Burford Brown organic eggs. They are the best eggs you will eat in your life. They literally come out and the egg yolk's going, we taste so good.
Is it like really deep?
Yeah. They are delicious, but they are also very expensive. Now, I haven't bought them for a while, and they were £2.50 the last time I bought them.
What, for 6?
For 6. Okay. So now, in Ocado, £3.45 for 6. Waitrose, £3.70. Abel and Cole, £4.35. Waitrose and Partners, £5.25 for 12. I've never seen a box of 12 Burford Browns.
Wow.
But if you're making,
worth it?
Yeah, definitely. If you're say you're making I know you can probably get cheaper organic eggs, but if you're making a really special cake,
and if you've charged for it, and if your couples are willing to pay,
because sometimes I'll get a customer come to me saying, "Do you use organic?" Sort of thing.
You know, if a customer is willing to pay and you've charged for it, then, and I mean, I know we used to use eggs from the little farm round the corner.
Yeah,
I loved that farm.
Yeah,
really loved it. I used to drive in, and there was always a hen on the loose.
Yeah,
and I didn't realise, because they used to call it. They used to talk about Lucy. They used to go, "Oh, that's Lucy," and I thought it was their pet hen. Oh no, it was the one that got loose. That's a Lucy, not that is Lucy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So and there.
Oh, I get it. Oh my God, you've told me that so many times. And it's just like, a Lucy. Oh, a Lucy. I'm so thick sometimes, never mind.
Oh, but their eggs, they used to have like the really deep. Can you remember we used to get like the Pulsar? They're like the little first eggs.
Yeah.
From then. And they were so rich. And I remember someone coming in and saying to us, "What do you put in your cakes to make them yellow?"
Eggs.
Egg.
Real egg.
Yeah, just egg.
Yeah.
But they do make a difference to the taste of a cake as well. They really
oh my God, so much. If you buy, I can honestly say I only buy these eggs in a dire emergency. You know, the ones that are caged hens and they're in the plastic box. If you crack one of those eggs into a glass and then a normal egg, a happy egg, or you know, an organic egg into a glass, the difference is
the colour is amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
Unbelievable. So imagine the nutrients that egg has got, the rich golden coloured one to the anemic looking bleh one. So there's no dispute. I actually get cross if somebody's bought one of those eggs. I'm like, why have you bought those eggs? What's the point of getting that? It's just slop. That poor chicken. Yeah.
I mean, they do say that caged hens are treated better than ever they were. They're still in a cage. You know, they're still in a cage. Yeah. You know? No. I do it because obviously there is been an issue with eggs. And avian flu. And have you seen the price of eggs? Yeah. But and avian flu and that. And I remember there was a similar thing about 5 years ago, and I remember going to the farm to pick up the eggs, and he said, "I'm sorry, I can't say that these are free range at the moment because we have to keep the hens in." I went, "Oh, okay, that's fine." He said, "But they have a terrace, they can wander around," and it was like the way he was describing how these hens were being kept. It's like, that's better than my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they weren't allowed out on the field at the time, and that was the only difference. But yeah, they do make a difference.
Yeah.
Yummy eggs.
Yum.
Do make
Yum. Yum.
Yum.
There you go. So.
Right. So mine is a little bit different. Mine is not specific to cake makers.
Oh, yes.
But I think cake makers will very much appreciate this.
Yeah.
Take away drinks cups, as in, like, not like you go to Starbucks
a travel
and get
cup.
A travel cup.
Yeah.
Travel cups, because stick with me on this. How many cups of coffee, because you're a coffee drinker, how many cups of coffee do you throw away a week because they're cold?
An incredible amount. I do warm them up in the microwave.
Exactly. You're putting them in the microwave and using more energy.
Yeah.
So I have taken, if I'm at my desk, I'm fine. I can use a regular mug because I remember it's there and I drink it. If I'm baking, if I'm making something, I make a cup of tea, I come back to it and I'm like, oh, it's cold. I hate cold. Really despise cold tea.
Yeah.
So it either goes in the microwave or it gets thrown away and I have to make a new one. So you're wasting your resources, you're using electricity. Whereas if you have a takeaway cup or, like a double-lined one, a thermal.
That's a special. Oh my God, I've got the most amazing one that used to be my mum's in my cupboard.
Just make your cup of coffee and then you can come back to it in 2 hours and it'll still be warm.
What a good idea. Bloody hell. That's mind-blowing.
I even take them to work because, it's like, because obviously I work in bakery and then customers, it's all quiet. I make a cup of tea, then customers start coming in, come back, tea's cold, throw it away.
Yeah.
So I even take mine to work, my travel cup to work. So that is you get them anywhere, get them inexpensive.
Yeah.
I think we've got about 4 or 5 in our house, knocking about.
I've got 2.
It's a good investment.
Yeah. Excellent
investment to stop you wasting your hot drinks.
Yeah. I love that. You get product of the week. Star product of the week.
Star product. And while I was thinking about this, I was thinking maybe we should get some logoed ones.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have merch.
Oh God.
We could do travel cups with the business of cake making. It's an idea. Tell us if you'd buy it. If not, I'm not going to bother.
I'd buy it.
Yeah, but you'd have one for free. Because you work for us.
Yeah. Might still have to buy it.
Well, yeah, that's a very good point. That's a good point. So
I wear my t-shirts as pajamas. My business of cake making.
I wear my t-shirts all the time actually, because I do wear them generally for doing things like gardening.
Yeah, they look nice underneath dungarees.
I haven't got any. I need to get some dungarees.
Yes.
Look at you. You look all
piratey,
arty.
Oh yeah, so artisan, darling, bohemian and artisan, all in one.
It's exactly what it is, darling.
In my clothes that I got from Clothes Swap.
But because you are sustainable and you don't like throwing clothes away.
No, look at this lovely top, and look at this beautiful love heart.
This is really pretty.
It's from Clothes Swap. I didn't buy it. I paid £2 to get in. Took everything.
And then you take it all back again next time.
I will. I've tried it all out. I come home. Oh, I have such a good time. I had 3 bags. Oh my God, you should see the coat I've got. Oh, I look like Pat Butcher in it. Yeah, it's a full-on Pat Butcher, beautiful fur with a leopard skin collar.
Oh, you do you used to have that coat at the shop that was like a teddy. It was like cuddling you.
Yeah,
we all went to cuddling you because you were like a teddy bear.
I gave that away.
Why? You just got cuddles when you had that on.
I Clothes Swap. I like to rotate.
You got bored. You just gave it away.
Yeah.
That's another sustainable tip. If there's a
Yes.
clothes swap near you, go and
Go
give
to
them.
it. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. Or set one up yourself. It's fantastic. Men and women and children all get together, but do it somewhere where there's coffee, because the one that was this weekend, there was no coffee there. And my mouth was like, I was so thirsty. I like to sit and
But
chat
if you
with my friends.
you could have taken your own coffee with you.
I could have, yes. Actually, I was going to take one with me, but we'd run out of glasses because I have people in my house who don't put the glasses in the dishwasher.
Yeah, you have teenagers.
First world problems.
Yeah.
So someone had used my blooming travel cup and left the lid there.
Useless.
Right.
Right. Are we done?
We are done.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah,
Please
thank
like-
you. Love you all. Like, subscribe, clickety click.
Thumbs up.
And bye.